All right, so I'm going to be trying to be quick with this. I have a lot of thoughts, and I'm kind of going to go based off of my immediate what we've seen, starting with Fable. So Fable was definitely the game of the show. Far and honest, it was the game of the show for real. It started with that way, and it started strong, which I really wanted to see anyway. So they started with Fable. It's a strong game, and it actually looks really good, and it was showing in-game footage. Um, the thing about this showcase is that it stated that there was going to be a lot of in-game gameplay, and because of the briskness of it and how the breakneck speed it was going, it did not feel that way. We did get gameplay, but it didn't feel that way because we got so many games and no in-depth analysis outside of Starfield. So it just felt like maybe we could have slowed this down, showed you truly how the game is going to work, some more mechanics, and then kind of went from there. It did not do that, but it did show off a lot. I really enjoyed South of Midnight. The whole style of that just makes me want to play it for sure. So South of Midnight was a really good game that came right after Fable. Then we went into Star Wars Outlaws. Outlaws looked really good. We gotta wait till tomorrow to see like what the world premiere of the gameplay is gonna look like. But it's Ubisoft, so I don't know. Honestly, I don't trust them, but hopefully they're not gonna mess up their chance with Star Wars, and hopefully they make a really good game, and it's not some Assassin's Creed clone or something like that. 33 Immortal, had no idea what this is, still don't know, but it seems like it may be interesting. Payday 3 was announced, which yeah, they had a third party stuff in there, so probably probably something that may be interesting for some, but not for me, obviously. Persona 3 Reloaded, they actually was able to get that remake, and it's coming to Game Pass day one. Oh, and another thing, I don't care about Game Pass anymore. I'm so sick of seeing that it's day one Game Pass. I know it's a feature, but it feel like it's a known and not anymore. It's not useful for me to know at this point. It's just I know that most of your games are gonna come, so stop showing it. To me, at least that's how it's coming off now. But Persona 3 being a remake and actually, looking great. Like I loved all the Persona games that I played, and I'm gonna play Persona 3. And I'm just happy that it's gonna be retold or at least redone so that I can enjoy it now. Avowed was probably the biggest disappointment simply because of the art style and how it was shown off. I literally thought that game was like Sea of Thieves or something. I did not know that that was Avowed until the end of it, and I was like, wow, they really did a huge downgrade. And I'm not saying that the game won't be good. I'm saying that it is not a AAA game that we expected. It's a double A, period. So that was the assumption, was a triple A, but we really got was a double A, and that's unfortunate. But it could be still a good game. I'm just not into Skyrim games in general. So in order for me to really play, it would probably have to have some type of graphical leap that I was really going to be interested in diving into. And then on top of that, has solid gameplay that would make me enjoy it. I was thinking of a sidestep for a wait for the Elder Scrolls, and truly what we got was, I don't know, more Outer Worlds kind of. Technically, it's like Outer Worlds, but with a different type of spin. I don't want to play that. I didn't play Outer Worlds because of that, and I was gonna wait for Fallout. Same thing I'm gonna do when it comes to any other game or this Avowed. I'm gonna wait for Elder Scrolls 6 because I'm hopefully that they do something truly amazing with those games. And again, it's no slight to it. It probably can be fun and enjoyable to play, but it's not gonna be for me. They did their Sea of Thieves things. Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'm really surprised how good that actually was. It was more so like you're gonna now be able to play and do their total, um, like actual jobs in the world. So you're gonna be able to actually take on situations and jobs and things like that, and go through that process. Sorry if you hear my kids in the back, but they're probably up now, and my wife's handling them. But Flight Simulator actually was quite enjoyable. I actually enjoyed that. Swanna's Saga Hellblade 2, unfortunately, because they did not show true, like in my opinion, they should have showed some more action-packed gameplay and really showcased the combat being reworked, because that was really the weak point of it. There was never their cinematics, it was never their art style, it was never them showcasing the psychosis things. It was literally just their gameplay of like how you fight, and they did not show that. So I just feel like I got the same amount of information I had previously. So it was a waste of time and space, in my opinion. Like a Dragon came on, Infinite Wealth, tongue in cheek, thought it was cute. Fallout 76, they should not have shown that, just like they should not have shown the update for Redfall, which they didn't do. But Fallout 76 falls in that category for me as well. Don't show that game off right now. We don't want to see that. Then we had Kunitsu Gami, Path of the Goddess. It was an announcement trailer. It's actually interesting. It was for Capcom. It had like a unique art style. It had a unique gameplay. And I thought it was really cool. It's like Pikmin, but Capcom. It felt like you were just rallying your team to do things and do certain things. So you might want to check that out just to see more information and actually look at the trailer. But right now, I'm going to keep breezing through. But Path of the Goddess actually was found peak interesting, like a little bit interesting. Forza Motorsport, we all know it's going to be good. They found a way to stick a car into the showcase again. And though I said no cars, they still showed a car. Elder Scrolls Online, another one of those things. Don't show it here. I didn't care less. Overwatch 2 Invasion. I could have sworn they said they was going to cancel the story stuff. Didn't I not say that like 2 weeks ago? Maybe I'm tripping. But they actually showed stuff. It looks interesting. I always was cool with the world of Overwatch, so I'm more than just intrigued on this. I'm actually super interested. So I actually want to play this. I actually want to see what they do, and I think it's going to be enjoyable. We had Persona 5 Tactica, which is another one of those smaller. It's a role. It's not a role playing game. Sorry, it is a tactical, real time strategy, but like a kind of like a Gears Tactics or XCOM. I'm not interested in that, but it seemed cool enough. Descent was probably the most unpolished game I've seen there. It was like a lot of like blocks of blotches in the world that felt like it was just not ready to be shown. It could be a cool concept, but right now it was just not ready. Reminded me of that one game, Recore, where it's just not ready to be shown. It might have a cool concept, but it's just not ready, and that's what I got from that. Still Wakes the Deep. I really just want to know more. That didn't do anything for me. I just was like, okay. So we'll probably want to get more information on that, or at least see if they have something in their extended showcase, because they do have something in two days. And then we had the Dungeons of Hinterberg. Definitely could have left that off the thing. It just showed me that I said, what is this animation? Her run animation was atrocious. But I guess I don't want to judge these type of games, because these are literally like very indie games, especially Still Wakes the Deep. I think is indie. Descent it's indie, and Dungeons of Hinterberg is indie. Then we got something nice. We got Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, and we actually got the release date, which was I think September 26th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. When is it? September 26th, right? So September 26th, we're going to actually get that game, which is really cool because it looks really freaking good. And I'm not saying that they saved the showcase, because they didn't. Microsoft showed off enough to keep people interested, but they definitely didn't show off the most. Like it felt like it was bare. After that came Cities Skyline 2, which you're building worlds, building cities and towns. I guess that's interesting to some people. It ain't to me. Metaphor, that is another one of those Persona games, but this is like a brand new game for them. So it was cool that they was able to announce it. This is definitely coming to the PlayStation as well. But it was cool that they was able to announce it because it shows that they have some ties, or at least somebody cares to be partnered up with Xbox. So Metaphor is something that they showed, and it looks interesting. I'm always interested in the Persona game, so that's something I'm definitely going to play as well. And I'm glad that we get in Persona 3 to get us back to used to that. And then going into Metaphor, which is going to be probably a new take on new roles and new characters. But it'll be cool. Towerborn, that could have been skipped, but if you're interested in that, look at Towerborn. I don't know much about the game, and the trailer didn't do much for me to kind of explain that. Now, Clockwork Revolution. This is from the camp of, I'm trying to think, what is it? Ooh, Exile. Exile. Um, they making this game, and it actually has a cool mode. Obviously, it's a little jank. Um, the consensus was that it looks cool, it plays cool, and that it might be worth the time, but it still looks a little rough around the edges. And again, I think this game has some time on it, so I'm not gonna judge it too harshly. But overall, man, it was that, and then they went into Starfield. Um, it honestly just felt very lax. I don't know. It felt like it just did not hit as hard as I thought it would be, and and I'm not saying that they don't have things. They have Hellblade, they have Avowed, they have Persona 3, they have Fable, they have South of Midnight. They even got a chance to show off the Star Wars Outlaws. But the things that are coming to Xbox to save it are Fable, South of Midnight, Avowed, Flight Simulator, Hellblade, and a lot of these Forza Motorsport, and a lot of these games are like, yeah, they're coming, but when and how impactful will it be? So I felt like it was a very lax experience, and maybe it is important for them not to show off things too early because you want to set proper expectations and things like that. But yeah, they've needed like one or two more things, and I felt like this would have been a B. I'm gonna have to go with a C on this one, C plus maybe, because simply it was better. It was more gameplay than the PlayStation version, but I felt like those moments in the PlayStation version would be more impactful than this, and that's unfortunate. But yeah, I would grade it a C plus. And then they showed off like extra storage on the Xbox Series S. I was really hoping that they was going to drop the price on the expansions, like $50 or something. But they literally just brought out another Xbox Series S in the carbon black version, which gives you another 500 gigs, which is nice because the $50, it's not $50 for extra 500. It's like, so they just were allowing people to kind of bundle that and get that for only $50 more. But the Starfield limited wireless controller and headset looks really cool. But I'm not trying to sugarcoat this. This was a very much so a mid showcase. I do enjoy what they showed, a lot of it. But at the end of the day, I was expecting them to justify the purchase of the Xbox, and Fable can do that. South of Midnight can do that, but those games have no release dates and they are very much so far out. And Starfield is that game that can sell consoles, simply because of how huge and expansive it is, and it did instill some trust in that, and I'm glad that it will work for Microsoft. But we need those next big things that are truly going to put them in that level playing field with Sony. But right now, it's just not. This is something that you can champion for a little bit and be happy with what we saw from Microsoft for sure. But That's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys for watching and listening. If you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm kind of going to break down or at least put out my reactions in real time of what I was seeing as I kind of go through. But I wanted to kind of get the recap out and talk about every game that I thought was cool or interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys for watching as always. If you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will talk to you in the next one. Peace.